Welcome to the instructions for the Planetary Astrology Calendar. Section 1. We call the boxes where the dates are the day blocks. Each is divided into 4 quadrants, reflecting the design of the human body. The upper half is like your head, which optimistically thinks, let's go for a walk. The lower half is like your feet, which are sore later. The left side is emotional and lunar. That's where you hold a newborn baby so they hear your heartbeat. Emotions, like lunar connections or aspects, come and go quickly and relate to people you encounter personally in your intimate life. The right quadrant is the social or solar side. This is where you extend your right hand in greeting. That's where the sun and planets make social connections or aspects, which are less personal but last much longer. The moon's sign is on the left next to its symbol, and when it's entering a new sign, the time is immediately below that. The moon's aspects are listed above and below the date. The moon's phases, like new moon and full moon, are listed at the top of the box, and any void of course times, which we'll explain later, are at the bottom. The moon's data covers 2/3 of the block because it's so influential. The upper supportive aspects are the conjunction, which are 0 degrees, meaning the planets are close together, the sextile, where they're 60 degrees apart, and the trine, where they're 120 degrees apart. The lower, or challenging aspects, are the square, where they're 90 degrees apart, and the opposition, where they're 180 degrees apart. We highlight days with mostly supportive aspects with a large white circle. When challenging aspects dominate, the date is white and surrounded by a black box. Because the moon phases are so important, the new and full moon have fenced borders around the day block. When the sun changes sign, what we call the ingress, there's a dark border around the block. To personalize the calendar, find your sun sign's ruling or social planet in section 4 about the signs. When your planet's glyph is above the date, the day feels easier because the moon is supporting your talents. When it's below, it takes more effort to make things work right. Note, the sun and moon don't appear above the date, so those born in the sign of the crab, also known as Cancer, and the lion, known as Leo, will find days easier when multiple planets are making supportive aspects to the moon. The lion also thrives when the sun makes supportive aspects on the right side of the box above the line. Whether the connection is supportive or challenging, the nature of the planets shape how it affects you. While lunar aspects are quick, planetary aspects on the right vary based on the speed of the planet. For example, Mercury to Venus aspects may last a few days, but Saturn to Neptune connections can last weeks or months. Learn more on the section about the planets and the aspects. Section 2. The written forecast. At the top of the page, in plain language, are the signs the sun is traveling through that month. The monthly forecast begins with an overview, followed by analysis of specific significant dates, which are noted by an asterisk. You will see those asterisks on the calendar where there are days you should pay attention to. They usually relate to how planetary movements, direction changes, or aspects are shaping events. Because the date blocks use astronomical symbols or glyphs, there's a handy and helpful glyph to English translation key. It also provides brief descriptions for each planet, sign, and aspect. The expanded descriptions are in the following sections. The calendar. The calendar includes a monthly text ephemeris, combining the glyphs with plain language, showing the planetary positions. It gives the planet's sign and degree on the first day of the month, and subsequent sign and direction changes. There's also a scientific ephemeris for the serious reader, but the compact ephemeris is quicker. There are 4 time zone calculations at the bottom of the calendar. We use Pacific clock time, which shifts with daylight savings. The day blocks. We are using the date in the center as the reference. To the left of the date is the moon's symbol and sign. 2. Below that is when the moon enters that sign. 3. An asterisk in the lower left corner tells you the day has a special forecast. 4. At the lower edge is when the moon is void of course. 5. The top edge shows the planetary ingresses, lunations, eclipses, meteors, and holidays. 6. Above the date are supportive lunar aspects listed from left to right as they occur. 7. To the right of the date, on the line, are planetary aspects. Supportive are above and challenging are below. The time sequence starts at the line and goes up or down. Planetary direction changes are also shown here with DX for direct, above, and RX for retrograde, below. 8. Below the date are challenging lunar aspects. A large circle notes a supportive day when projects encounter minimum resistance. The black box around the white date notes a challenging day when starting a new project is inadvisable and tasks require extra work. A thin black frame around the date notes a long, problematic, void of course moon. Section 3. The text ephemeris, planetary speed, and void of course. It's better to start projects between the new and full moon when energy is rising. The sun trine moon before the full moon, the waxing gibbous, is a great time to rally the troops. The sun trine the moon after the full moon, waning gibbous, is a great time for any big push because the energy of the moon is releasing and flowing smoothly. While Western calendars start the year on January 1st, the Earth's energy cycle has its low ebb at the lunar or Chinese New Year, marked by the Aquarius new moon. With large projects, it's better to start projects after that date, which changes every year. When the planets are moving faster than average, any project you do related to their area of expertise will put the wind at your back. For example, Venus in high gear is great for expanding your social circle. Jupiter, setting sail with all the canvas out, moves enterprises along swimmingly. Everything related to them happens more quickly and easily. That's why it's helpful to understand where each planet most successfully operates. We take planetary speed into account when creating the forecasts. In comparison, planets appear to slow when they change direction, and those areas become harder to advance. The inner planets, Mercury, Venus, and Mars, affect our daily lives, while Jupiter and Saturn affect our social standing. For example, Jupiter returns to your birth position at ages 12, 24, 36, etc., often lucky growth years. Saturn takes 29.5 years to return once the average lifespan, thus Saturn's traditional connection to maturity. About the void of course moon, VOC. The period after the moon makes its last connection or aspect to any planet or the sun until it enters the next sign is a wandering time. When it arrives in the next sign, it gets a new agenda. This time is called the void of course. The times are listed at the bottom of the date blocks. An extra long VOC is marked with a black frame around the date, so you don't miss them. Some people are more sensitive to them than others. To understand the VOC, imagine yourself as the moon, running between errands and meetings. Oops, you didn't plan the day perfectly, so you find yourself with excess time until your next appointment. You don't have anything productive to do, so maybe you go window shopping. Of course, sometimes having free time is a good thing, if you have plenty of money in your pocket and some things you'd like to do for yourself. Those opportune times are when the moon is VOC in one of 4 signs: Sagittarius, Pisces, the Crab, and the Cow, aka Taurus. In those signs, the moon is self-directed and resourceful. Section 4. About the signs and planets. What are the signs? They are 30-day periods starting on the first day of spring. Tribal elders used the signs to time the essential tasks for managing food resources. The stone circles were used for counting the days, which is what the Egyptian word horoscope means. Our book, Reclaiming Astrology from the Patriarchy, explains the signs' true original symbols. They are Aries, the shepherd; Bovis or Taurus, the cow herd; Gemini, the goat herd; Cancer, the crab catcher; Leo, the lion hunter; Virgo, the winemaker; Libra, the negotiator; Scorpio, the eagle trainer; Sagittarius, the mounted archer; Capricorn, the sea lion trainer; Aquarius, the farmer and irrigator; Pisces, the dolphin rider and fisherman. The signs alternate in polarity from masculine to feminine, depending on whether men or women led in that task. Astrology's central philosophical instrument is called the Table of Planetary Dignities. It explains how the 7 traditional bodies, Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, each connect to 6 signs. This describes how they behave at work or home. A better modern title is the Table of Defined Roles. The celestial geometry this is based on was broken over the centuries, but we restored it in our Reclaiming book. Check it out. It will change your understanding of astrology. The ruler, or social sign, operates best in the career world, which is why it was highlighted in patriarchal societies. The 4 elements of the signs start with fire for Aries, and then alternate between earth, air, and water through the 12 signs. The elements are the 4 states of matter in physics: plasma, solid, gaseous, and liquid. Dynamic fire energizes. Responsive earth stabilizes. Dynamic air interacts. And responsive water dissolves. The signs are also defined by 3 qualities, which are stages in the seasonal cycle, which describes a way of acting. They start with Aries as cardinal, which initiates, followed by fixed, which systemizes, and mutable, which humanizes. There are no rulers for Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto because they're outside our visual range. The geometry that underlies the table describes the relationships between the 7 bodies as a reflection of human relationships. The astrologers in the 1930s who gave these invisible planets rulers were clueless about the celestial geometry, the nature of the planets, and their historical influences in the 12 signs, which would have required extensive research. Instead, they depended on mythology and spiritual mediums. Their choices, to put it mildly, were misogynistic. Subsequent research reveals the 3 as being very different from their conclusions. That means Both Aries and Scorpio, or as it's properly called, the Eagle, will look for Mars above and below in the day blocks as an indicator about the day. Sagittarius and Pisces, or the Dolphins, will look for Jupiter. Capricorn, the sea lion trainer, and Aquarius will look for Saturn on the day. Section 5. About the planets. The planets move in predictable patterns and speeds. The moon's the quickest. Mercury and Venus are next, and they never wander more than a couple of signs away from the sun. Mars is the next quickest, and from Mars out, the planets form every aspect from conjunctions to oppositions. When analyzing charts, start with the table of defined roles to see whether the body is operating in its social or family personality, or neither. Next, look at the aspects to see the relationships they've formed. Finally, look at house placement on the charts, which are found in the day planner and digital versions, to understand the power of their positioning on the map. Sun aspects bring energy. Its supportive aspects promote stability. Its challenging aspects promote aggression. Lunar aspects lend emotional oomph. Its supportive aspects are a helping hand. Its challenging aspects are an encouraging slap. Mercury aspects promote engagement. Its supportive aspects provide valuable information. Its challenging aspects tease and test. Venus aspects promote self-awareness. Its supportive aspects lend grace and artistry. Its challenging aspects promote indulgence. Mars aspects add passion and heat. Its supportive aspects are protective and engaging. Its challenging aspects are defensive and destructive. Jupiter aspects expand. Its supportive aspects promote possibilities and imagination. Its challenging aspects encourage recklessness. Saturn aspects contract. Its supportive aspects promote maturity and discipline. Its challenging aspects create structure and punishment. Uranus aspects electrify. Its supportive aspects promote networks and communication. Its challenging aspects promote insurrection. Neptune aspects add molecular subsurface energy. Its supportive aspects promote invention. Its challenging aspects provoke reactions from others. Pluto aspects add perspective. Its supportive aspects promote a global vision. The challenging aspects personalize global events. Section 6. About the aspects. Aspects are the angles made between the celestial bodies. Planets can also form aspects to the chart angles: ascendant, descendant, midheaven, and IC. While planets show a person's talents, the aspects show how the bodies and those talents are working together or not. The conjunction is 0 to 7 degrees. The planets are close together, deciding and working in concert. The sextile is 60 degrees. Because they live nearby with the same polarity, the sextile creates an easy, supportive relationship, like cousins of the same gender working and playing together. The square is 90 degrees. Imagine cars meeting at an intersection. The drivers must use the rules and their wits to get where they're going and avoid crashes. They have opposite polarities, so it's like when men and women work together. Productivity depends on negotiation. The trine is 120 degrees. This harmonious, strongly supportive connection is like siblings who provide muscle and resources for each other without question. They have the same polarity. The opposition is 180 degrees. Imagine two people sitting opposite each other negotiating. While each is committed to their position, they have a great deal in common and yet different goals, but they shift their actions because of this connection. The parallel is 0 degrees of latitude. The planets are at the same altitude, although they may be quite far from each other in longitude. They hold equal rank. By itself, it's not a significant aspect unless there is another aspect or connection. The contraparallel shows bodies the opposite distance above and below the ecliptic and describes a mentor relationship. But like the parallel, it only matters when there is another connection. Aspects to the Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, and Mars are felt most personally. Jupiter and Saturn aspects affect you socially. Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto aspects are societal. And because they change signs slowly, they develop gradually. But when they pass over your personal planets, they are connecting you to a global evolution. Outer planet aspects are like sitting on a boat deck with friends and a big bottle of wine, enjoying the afternoon turning into evening. As the tide rolls in and the boat gradually rises, no one notices. It's only later, as they step down from the dock, that they'll recognize the change. Outer planet aspects are different experiences from the inner planetary aspects that say, bam, wake up, Mars is here.